In every modern home, you wouldn't miss a tile on the ground or on the floor. But do we know the different type of tiles that are required for different parts of the house? Today, we are going to discuss about tiles. This is Building Better Homes. I'm your host, Yvonne Katzo. Now, today we are joined by PERGAS company, which deals with tiles, and we have so much installed for you in this show. And our guest today is Sylvia. Karibu sana, Sylvia.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, Yvonne.
Well, thank you for having us here at PERGAS.
You're most welcome.
Yeah, so my first question would be, just get into it. What different types of tiles are there in the industry?
So in the industry, we have two types. We have ceramic and porcelain. So now it depends on what do you need. So in ceramic and porcelain is stronger than ceramic. So we would recommend a porcelain tile for a major traffic area and a ceramic tile for a less traffic area.
What do you mean by less traffic and major traffic?
For example, in supermarkets, in banks, in malls, you need a very good quality tile because you need it to maintain it and sustain it. You don't need something that in a few years' time you have to change it or keep on renovating because there is the aspect of tear and wear, abrasion, and durability because porcelain is meant to withstand weight, traffic, and pressure.
Okay, now talking of the traffic and the durability, can I opt as a homeowner? Can I opt to do the ones that are used in supermarket in my home?
Yes, sure. You can do because actually they have a very good aesthetic view because the bigger the tile, the beauty it is. Because the bigger the tile, you reduce the number of joints on your flooring. If you can remember, if you've seen in our homes, the normal homes where we stay in, they use the smaller size, which have so many joints. But when you view a bigger tile, it has less joints. So there's that beauty in appealing because of the lesser joints.
Okay, that's good information. Now, when it comes to homeowners or people who are looking into getting into building homes, what criteria should I use when I'm looking for a tile or I'm choosing for a tile? What should I consider when I'm choosing one?
A good question. Now, what we look at is number one, geographical area, the client. Number two, what are their requirements? Are we going to meet their needs? Because if they have young children, you must also be able to cater for that. Because you find parents are very sensitive. For example, they have babies. They want something that is not going to be slippery for them. So we usually recommend each tile for each area. For instance, you find the rough textured tiles are ideal for wet areas and the glossy ones because they bring a very nice reflection. So we recommend them for your sitting space, your lounge, your corridor, where there's well light and no water related.
Seeing the shop, we've seen so many different kinds of tiles and all that. How do you guys keep up with the trend? You know, I'm assuming the tiles that were used in 1901 is not what we are using in 2024.
Oh, definitely. So what we look into is we also get feedback from the clients because we get a lot of clients who have traveled out of the country. Number one, our products are not locally made. They are imported from Iran. So what we look at is the current trends in Iran. We bring them to Africa, Kenya to be specific. So you find we are trying to bring into that modern home what is found when they travel to other countries. They can be able to get it also here in the country.
Now, let's say, for example, I choose this tile. How do I maintain it as a homeowner? How do I maintain it to make sure that, you know, it's durable or I take good care of it?
So the part of maintaining such a tile is, I would look at the aspect of first, have you followed the right procedure in installation?
Perfect.
because when you miss one step, you'll miss everything. If there's a material you're supposed to use for fixing this particular tile or any of the tiles here, if you miss it, then that's when you find people complaining, this tile is coming off, this tile is making sound. It's simply because you have missed a step. I usually say, when you're doing your tile work, it's like when you're doing your makeup. So you must put the right primer foundation, and the concealer and all of that. So if you miss one, you'll find it's smudging. So the same thing happens to tiles. So you can't just put a tile because you love that color. No, you must follow the right procedure. If you skip one, you have missed it.
Yeah, and now talking of the steps and all that, most homeowners, from my research, is that they really don't know the steps. They tend to believe on the fundi amesema, the third party thing, and sometimes, you know, whether we like it or not, some of these people are not honest. They tend to cut shortcuts and all that, and then later on you stay in a house, you find that it's now making noise or it's not stable and all that. What are the steps that I should at least know and be able to ask that fundi, ulifanya hivi na hivi?
Now, huyo fundi, what we usually do is we give you the recommendations of what is to be followed. So we insist. I'm not selling for you just for the sake of getting money. I'm selling for you for future reference, because I want you to feel good when you're looking at this tile. And remember PERGAS. I don't want you just to look at it and say, that girl who sold to me, I can't go back there.
Anger comes up.
You see. So what I do is I tell you the right procedure. And if you do not have a certified and competent fundi, a tiler, we will recommend. Because we do have some that we've worked in the long run and they've delivered. So we are not worried about that. Only that if you insist to use your own tiler, I will tell you, make sure they follow this, and this.
That makes it very easier for a buyer, because in case I am green in this kind of field, I get to come and I'll get the tile and also get, is it in an extra cost or is it
now
part of the parcel of buying the tiles?
It's not part of the parcel, but the only thing we give you is that we guarantee if there's any error from the fundi we have recommended, we will chip in and see where we can sort you out. But on payment to that tiler, it's upon you. They're very fairly priced. They charge you fairly. So we are not ever worried recommending them to you as a homeowner. Yes.
What are some of the common challenges that you guys face when it comes to tiles, either installation and all that?
Now, when it comes to tiles, the major challenge you face is being compared to locally manufactured tiles, because whatever we offer here at PERGAS is quality, value for your money. So you'd find the thickness of our tiles is not like the normal thickness you find in the market. So somebody would come in and tell you, no, I can get this tile from Chinese.
For
and
a
then you're like,
price.
how can you get this tile in Chinese? Not unless they've duplicated and produced. Because you see, there's also the manpower of, you can do production if you have it. But our niche that we have with our tiles is that the thickness is very different. The water absorption rate is very good. They do not soak, they do not stain, they do not scratch. So that is something that we have as PERGAS for our products. Yes.
How do I handle post installation, especially for tiles and all that? Immediately, like they're done, not after a few days. Now someone can move in with their furnitures and all that.
Now, immediately they're done, because if the floor was not well diagnosed and you see what could cause or lead to such a problem, if there happens to be a problem, we definitely come in and help you. What we look at is, for example, let's say your floor was not leveled. Then that means the tiler should have noticed that and leveled it. And ensure that we do not cause any hazards on the floor, because sometimes when you have that stepping, that is what hurts many people, because the tiles are not going to be on one level, and that will give your floor a very uneven, and it will be dangerous for your home person and even the children who are there. So how we handle it is we tell the client, you can remove them and make sure, let's say for example that material they're using, make sure it is added a little bit more to bring it to a level where they'll be on the same level. Yes.
Yeah. So in your own opinion,
Yes.
what is that common mistake people do when either buying a tile, choosing a tile, or during installations of tiles?
I would say the major mistake they do is they are ignorant. For example, you come into a shop, you are advised and you're told this tile goes to this place and this place. Then you go to your own site, you do your own things. Then later on you come and say, no, your tile was not good quality. I even put it, it is changing, it is fading. Then you ask, where did you install it? They tell you, I put it on the floor. How can you put a wall tile on the floor? So you'd find people liking our tiles because of the textures. You find the wall tile has a bit of a mat.
This is a wall tile?
This is a wall tile.
Yeah,
so somebody else would come and tell you, no, this one I can do on the floor. You tell them, no, this is a wall tile. Don't do it on the floor. So when they buy and put it on the floor, it brings up a disadvantage to them because it is not meant to withstand weight, traffic and pressure. You know, there's no weight on the walls. There's no pressure on the walls. And the other thing that happens is I usually tell the client, give yourself a span of about 6-7 months. Then you will understand if there's leakage. Because you know, during time of installation, there's no water. Your piping is already done, but you don't know if there's any leakage. So give yourself time and observe and get to know. Then, when you tell them, get an extra box, they feel it's an extra cost. Well, in real sense, it is not. That is another disadvantage they go into because they come later on, they find the tile is out of stock. Remember, the products are imported. So when they come, they find it's out of stock. They have to wait for about 3 months, which makes them now become so agitated. And you remember, you try to calm them down and tell them, remember I told you, this thing, it is not something you can just come and get. So it's good to always have some extra. In the event, there's a repair work to be done. So I would say that is the disadvantage we get because they miss the point that we're trying to help and put across. But nowadays we see
they're learning
and they're coming up. So it's really
I hope
good.
they also learn from this show. That is.
Yes, we hope so.
Are tiles environmentally friendly?
To a degree, I would say yes, because when you see, for example, like this space, definitely there are going to be offcuts. So if the offcuts are not well disposed, definitely they'll be hazardous to the environment.
Yes.
But I would say they are way better compared to maybe other materials because, number one, they can be used to just make a mosaic or a motif somewhere when they're just in terms of pieces and chips. You can just create something. Anyone who has an artistic eye can do anything
with a tile.
With the remnant of broken tiles or even chipped tiles, they can do anything. Yes.
Now, when it comes to a new home that probably one is building and all that, how do you balance creativity and the choices of tiles that you make?
Now, creativity comes in, number one, from the client. I try to engage the client and see what are their pros and cons. What do they feel they need in their home? So you find some clients tell you, I need a warm home. I don't mind, any color can do. So now when they give you the pen of any color can do, now you chip in with your creativity. And now when somebody comes in and they have a specific theme, you try to move with that. You can only change it where you feel and see it is good to change for her because this would suit her home better based on how you've understood the layout, the plan of the home, the direction of lighting, how much light is coming into the rooms, into the washrooms. So you need to look at those before you can even tell the client, this would be good, this would not be good.
Previously, we've talked about the different types of tiles. We have the floor tiles, and the wall tiles, and all that. Can I use a wall tiles designed to resist water and all that? Because I'm assuming, let's say in the bathroom, on the walls, water will definitely splash.
Yes.
Is that different from the one maybe I would use on the kitchen or on the sitting room, where I would just mop twice a week and all that?
Ideally, the reason I mentioned the water absorption rate is that before tiles are installed, there's a process they go through, like I told you before. If you miss that process, that's it for you. So the wall tiles, reason they have a very good absorption rate for water is because there's always water there. The others for the kitchen, for the sitting room, they don't there's no much water there, only when you're cleaning.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's once or twice in a week or thrice in a week, depending. But the washroom, they need to be cleaned every time because we use them every day.
Yeah.
Yes, so definitely they're very good. Absorption water rate is very good. They would not swell because there's some tiles that do swell and warp. So you find on the wall, the tile is not at one level because it has taken in so much water and then it has carved. Just like a board, you know the way a cardboard or MDF board, once you pour water on it, it is not water friendly. So these are water friendly.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Sylvia. I want you to give us last tips or advice that you'd give to homeowners who are looking, either people who are looking forward to own homes or are currently in the process.
My advice to them is don't hesitate to reach out. There's always something that you can get in every store. Remember that don't fix your mind that everything is expensive. Things are affordable depending on what is your meaning of affordability. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you've learned a thing or two about tiles. It's one of my favorite topics actually because I believe tiles usually set the mood and the theme of the house. Of course, with other things being part of it, but tiles, I think it plays a bigger role when it comes to homes. Well, I believe you've learned something, and do not hesitate to reach out to us. In case you have any questions and comments, feel free to share with us. This has been Building Better Homes. I'm your host, Yvonne Kadzo. Thank you.